Welcome to a brand new video of the Targeted Individual Program, Target Individual Programming, Target Individual Experience, NY Predators Dept. Again, engaging in the remote neural monitoring, illegal in-home surveillance, the use of sirens as a noise campaign, I should say. And then as soon as they started, you have Pam start doing hand signals. You know, so I started doing hand signals back. She turned around real fast. She turned around quick fast, but she did not want to see it. I'm like, don't start with me. Don't start with me. I don't start with you. Don't start with me. But, you know, again, the religious fanatics, all right? And once people start to realize how much of a death cult Christianity is, their religion is, they begin to see clearer and how it's being used to tear people apart. All right? And they try to make it seem like you who speak the truth, you, the truth teller, you and I, those of us who speak the truth. All right, we see people are continuing. Yes, I said we see. We're part of the Department of Sirens. Yes, we do see. And we understand the lies, the manipulation, the deception. You know, when I uploaded that video today, the interview with my brother Ron Dalton, you know, they were upset, man. They sent out the fire trucks, the ambulance. You know, they I was like, okay. The reactionary to the videos that I do. You know, particularly, like I said, people need to go and listen. If you're a black Christian, go and watch Ron Dalton. Watch his interview. All right? And he'll tell you. He may believe, you know, he's a Hebrew Israelite, but, you know, the brother speaks on things that, you know, when you think about it, you know, not to say certain things are true, right? The geographical areas that he's talking about, you know, those are factual. But again, you know, facts, truth is always mixed with myth. Okay, so you gotta understand that, and you gotta know that. You're a Predator Department. Look at them. Look at them. Right? Truth is going to be mixed with myth. This is how mythology, some mythology, is, right, in terms of how it is orchestrated. I'm telling you, they will show themselves, man. They will show themselves. And I just so happened to glance over, and I saw them, you know, driving by. All right, synchronized movement. Like I said, my senses have been tuned. Right, my awareness and alertness have been tuned when it comes to recognizing what it is that they do. Right, you become hyper vigilant. You know, once you start to see things for what they are, you know that they can never put you back to sleep, so they gotta try to manipulate you, try to threaten you, coerce you, right? Try to use people against you, try to dangle that carrot in front of your face, even though the carrot is sour, even though the carrot is spoiled, right? Even though the carrot is old, right? You know what I'm saying? So you gotta understand what it is that they do. All right? And when they believe that they can still continue to manipulate you, you gotta show them, no, you can't. No, you can't. Right? You don't got to say it. You got to show them. No, you can't. I checked the bus schedule. There's 2 buses that's supposed to be coming. One says, let me check again. See how far they are. Also, what they've been doing a lot lately too is using numbers. So for example, if a car passed by has the number 6 in it, and let's say I go check the bus schedule and it says the bus will be here in 6 minutes, right? They will use the, I keep telling you, it's what they want you to believe, right? And of course, when it comes to technology, they manipulate technology. So you gotta understand that, right? And don't fall for it. I talk about their false, fake studio signs based on their manipulation, their deception, right? So you gotta understand what it is that they do. I always say, there's a reason why they don't let black people into certain fields, right? And they do it through the mothers to manipulate their children into not going into the STEM fields. Yeah, sirens? When I talk about that, they will always use the siren when I'm talking about the STEM fields and science. Oh, same ones? Oh. Same ones, look at them, look at them. Oh my goodness. Hilarious. Right? Like I said, black people need to go into the STEM field en masse, regardless of what they say. What they're trying to do is trying to deter people from getting an education now, saying that an education is not good, and that's not true. In the field of science, technology, math, physics, engineering, right? Those fields are still highly desirable. Computer programming, yes, computer programming, right? You don't know why? Because if you decided that you're going to create your own AI, you'll be able to do it because you learn how to do it. You're not going to let AI do it for you. If you let AI do it for you, you're a fool. Because the people that create their version of AI that you're using, they got built-in protection systems where if you're trying to do the same thing, they'll sabotage you. Alright, I'm gonna tell you 15325. See? So what happened here?
Please exit through Next stop, Church Avenue, NY.
คะเรียกว่าคะไม่นั่ง
Next stop, Church Avenue and Western Avenue. Transfers available to the 2 train, B35 Uber, B44 and B44 SBS. Please exit through the rear door. This stop is Church Avenue and Western Avenue. Please exit through the rear door.
Goes to the back of the ambulance. Where they had him.
Church Avenue and New York Avenue. Transfer available to B44. This stop is Church Avenue and New York Avenue.
Next stop, Church Avenue and Brooklyn Road. You guys see the pattern? Watch.
rear door. Next stop, Church Avenue and Torrey Avenue. This stop is Church Avenue and Torrey Avenue. Please exit through the rear door. Next stop, Church Avenue and East 48th Street. This stop is Church Avenue and East 48th Street.
You okay? You okay? I see you keep looking. I see you keep looking back here. You alright? Alright. Drive your bus.
You bothering me? You asking me questions.
I see you every time I look. You looking back
But
here.
you too close. I'm looking at my rear view. You bother my eyes. But I've got to look there. I'm seeing you.
Really? Okay.
Please exit through the rear door.
Tell you, I always start some
Next
bullshit.
stop, Church Avenue and Yuba Avenue. Transfers available to B35 Limited and B46 SBX. This stop is Church Avenue and Yuba Avenue.
Alright, I'm going back to the basement.
Please exit through the rear door.
Yeah, let's get out here.
Next stop, Church Avenue and East 52nd
Okay.
Street.
BW 3219.
This stop is Church Avenue and East 52nd Street.
they will always find new ways, find a new purpose. And then they'll show themselves, right? Yeah, the sirens.
Church Avenue and East 56th Street. Please exit through the rear door. Next stop, Church Avenue and Kings Highway. Transfers available to B35 Limited and B7. This stop is Church Avenue and Kings Highway.
All I did was just move back. From there to there. Trust me, it ain't making a big difference.
Please exit through the rear door. Next stop, Church Avenue and Benson Avenue. Transfers available to B17, B47, and B8.
Maybe standing there. I saw my whole block over standing there. Looking at it. Right. Oh, I don't know why. Look at the number. 932. Look at it. Alright, 932. What's it? 347 932 2488. All right, thank you. Have a good night. Falling off the lips. So yeah, so the bus driver kept, he kept looking back, and not through the rearview mirror. He just literally turned his head, leaning forward, staring down at my crotch. And I'm just like, I asked him, I said, is that a problem? Is there a problem, man? Because he was doing it too many times, right? He was doing it right before the NY Predators Department, and I turned my phone so you guys can see, right, as he blew his horn and they started driving off, because I saw the lights, and I was like, yeah, there they go. So again, talking about third person targeting, the NY Predators Department would use civilians, they are criminal snitchers, they are criminal cult agents to send a subliminal message, and then they'll show up. It's like I talked about earlier on in my targeting, how, like say for example, a person is walking towards me, New York Predator Department, predator officers behind them, they'll stick their fingers in their ears, and then these predator New York racist cops will put their hand on their weapon, you know. And I'm looking at them like, okay, you know, it's strange more than anything. I wasn't startled, I'm just like strange, and of course you're gonna see, look, all right, so again, they are showing a heavy presence, right? Why? We shall see. We shall see. We shall see. 67 precinct, right? The 67 precinct all over the place, right? That's the main precinct they're using to target me. The main predator police department they've been using to target me because they're all over the place. So, you know, like I said, we shall see. They always try to send these subliminal threats, and then they'll start to show themselves, right? And what it is that they do. So what did I talk about earlier? About trying to extort money from me, right? Again, the extortion scheme that I said, go ahead. I'm just gonna, they just proving me right. And of course, I'm gonna take action, you know? So, oh yeah, of course I'm gonna do something, right? No, I said of course I'm gonna take action. See the influence? Action. I saw it, right? Again, how they do these things. So when you see certain things, it registers your subconscious, and your subconscious would say these things, right? But it's all part of subliminal manipulation. Look at him pointing. Yeah, I'm pointing at you too, buddy. Yeah, look, I'm pointing at him too. So you see, it's all it's intended, right? It's intended. So look. There they go again. Right? You see, when they do this, it's because they're up to something, right? And I talk about that, they're up to something. Then Pam was telling me about her uncle, that he's in the hospital. And she said she's going to go Saturday, go visit her uncle in the hospital at Columbia. But I want you to see, right, how they start showing themselves, right? Again, their lies and their manipulation is not going to work. Right? It is not going to work. You looking under the Facebook. I tell you, they always try so hard, but that shit don't work. Like I said, they gotta find somebody to victimize, because it is part of their culture, right? It is who they are. It's the ritual abuse within the society, because it feeds their dark triad personality traits. And you gotta understand that, right? It's like the video I posted from the interview with Ron Dalton, and he was interviewing there was an interview with a South African police officer. He was actually the head of his what do you call it, squad, what have you. And he talks about how they would train other black South Africans in how to sow division amongst their people. They would pay them, train them, you know. And, you know, because of that, you have black on black crime, right? You know, as I said, I always listen to, you know, our scholars. Dr. Amos Wilson talks about this. There's a video that he has, black on black crime, and he talks about this, that black on black crime is based off of white on black crimes, right? And so when they manipulate us to attack each other, we don't get to focus on them and stop them from doing what it is that they're doing to us, meaning stop their destructive behavior against us, right? So we focus on each other and we fight each other, right? So we got to understand what's going on. And like I tell them, my purpose is greater than theirs. That no matter what they do, I said my purpose is greater than theirs. Like, whoop. That's right, my purpose is greater than theirs. Okay? Because ultimately, like I said, they're the ones that need to change. Black people, we got to change too. We got to change for the better. But we need to recognize and understand and accept the fact that these people are doing what they're doing to us. And once you realize that, and start blaming each other, and start educating each other, and start seek knowledge, I always recommend, certain people, right? Look. See, I'll tell you how they try to sneak the color red, right? Look at them. Pants hanging, red underwear short. I tell you, this is the type of mindset that a lot of young people are in, even older people too. Because I've seen men my age, with their pants hanging below their ass, and it's an atrocity. To be honest with you, it's ridiculous. But we tend to not want to understand who create our negative cultures. It isn't us. We don't think about these things. This is done in the offices of white supremacists, in boardrooms, in public relation firms, right? In the field of on the board of American psychology and psychiatry, that they come up with these programs. In the military, talk about the precision movement, synchronization, military tactics, right? Covert operations. Okay? And we tend to want to look at each other as if we are the, as if we are responsible for our condition. And we're not, because we're not in a position of power to say we are responsible for our condition. Okay, we're not in that position to even say that. So I don't even know why we keep trying to, blame each other about this and that. It is orchestrated, right? We should know that. It is orchestrated. It is fully orchestrated. All right? You know what I'm saying? Fully orchestrated. I have to say it again because when I said it in New York, our president probably using in sirens. Okay? And how they choose people within the society that they can engage in what? Experimentation, practicing so that they can become experts in how to manipulate people, how to engage in covert operation against an individual or group of people and get others to join in and targeting them. And they appeal to the dark side of human nature because that's who they are. That's what they love. That is who they are. So when they try to project onto you and I, again, when we call them racist, they call us racist. First of all, we can't be racist because racist is a system. Not only is it an ideology, but you have to have the power and you have to be in power to be racist towards other groups of people, because racism is a system, right? Bigotry is a bias, not racism, right? So, when they always come with this bullshit because whenever they get new recruits, they gotta lie to them. But like I said, I'm here to educate. I'm here to educate, make people aware of what's going on, uplift my people, and to uplift them, they're gonna have to understand the truth. Because uplifting people doesn't come in the feel-good sermons. It doesn't come in making you feel good because the pastor says something that you like to hear, right? But when you go back, when you leave church, your life hasn't changed. Not for the better. All right? So we gotta understand what it is that they do, how they do it. And stop falling for it. Stop falling for their lies, for their manipulation. Let's see here. I'm looking for the bus schedule, see what time the bus is coming. That might be one right there. Let's see. Nope. It is not. All right, now you see what I talk about the number 9? What I mentioned? No, I mentioned number 6. Okay, I'm getting it mixed up. The bus will be here in 9 minutes. But yeah, as I said, right? This is, we got to understand who they are. They're lies. Imagine that they banned this brother's video from playing in theaters because they call it anti-Semitic. How is it anti-Semitic? From a people who is not allowed to take a DNA test because they've been lied to. Because they've been lied to. Right? Now think about this, right? They're not allowed to take a DNA test. But yet they're going to all over Africa taking DNA tests of Africans. You know what I'm saying? Like imagine that, right? They can't take a DNA test. But they're going all over Africa taking DNA tests of African nations and people in African nations. And they're telling you that, these are the high priests of the people who call themselves Hebrew Israelites. Now think about that. Right? Really think about that, right? Think about that. Come on now. There they go. Yeah. See? Speak the truth. They start using their sirens. Speak the truth. They start using their sirens. All right, here they go. All right? Speak the truth. They start using their sirens. Look at them. I tell you, right? Hilarious, man. Oh yeah. And like I tell you, it doesn't, as a black person, it doesn't matter if you're a Christian, a Muslim, non-denominational, no religious belief, atheist, African spiritualist, scientist, what have you. If you speak the truth, they're going to attack you. Because like I said, their war is against the truth. Right? Why? Because they're liars. They're manipulators. They're deceivers. Right? And only the truth could reveal their lies, their deception, their manipulation. Like I said, I always say, let the truth be your armor. Right? Let the truth be your weapon against their lies, their deception, their manipulation. I hate New York Predator Department. I hate New York Predator Department. Again, very chilly night. You got this window open, right? Look, everybody else got their window closed because it's a chilly night. But they like to do the repeated patterns, right? Talk about that. Look, another bus that's not in service. See this shit? Right? So last night I had to wait for almost a whole hour for a bus. Now 2 buses passed, it's not in service. See? Now I hear the car horn, beep beep. It's a charter bus, and look, he's looking at the. Bro, you gotta be looking in that direction, right? So they got the charter bus. He comes up. I think he's like gray hat, brown jacket. The charter bus passed by, and then right before he gets to the car, they hear beep beep, and then the charter bus passed by, right? So again, Listen to what I'm saying. See what I'm showing you guys. And you hear the NY Predators Department in the background, right? Okay. Now they're gonna flood it with gray vehicles. Okay. You might use a combination of gray and black. There you go. Red. Oh, that's a combination. Gray, black, and red. See? All right. Look. Same thing over here. All right. Gray, black, and red. See the red vehicle right there? All right. See the pattern? You see the pattern? Okay. Tell you, they're easy to spot now. They're easy to spot. Anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, they're liars. They cannot win fairly. They have to cheat. And they will accuse you of cheating so they can justify cheating so they can win. Or they will infiltrate your group, your community, and put somebody who will engage in cheating, and then they can say, look, the Democrats cheated, so now we can cheat, right? This is what they do. You got to understand that. This, like I talk about, the infiltration of science, right? And to try to discredit science. This is what they've been up to, right? The infiltration of many so what I'm looking for, many industries, right? But like I said, we're dealing with religious fanatics. We're dealing with people who are mentally ill, who are of the dark triad personality traits. And they will give you a mental illness because they understand that without power, right, they can define who you are, even though they'll tell you that you just say, no one can define me. Well, they can. They can. You may not define yourself as such, but they certainly can, right? We've seen it, how they demonized Michael Jackson. It was all based on fabrication and lies. And they will use children to do it. They will use parents who will manipulate their children to do it. Right? They will use women to do it. Okay? Keep saying, you gotta, we as black people, you gotta have the notion and the knowledge that white supremacy will always be there to try to sabotage your every effort. And they will use us against each other to do it. Okay? So if you don't have people around you that have your best interest, that have knowledge, like I said, if they do this to us and 80% of us fall for it, right? The 20% that don't fall for it, what can they do? What can they do? There's that saying, what the saying goes? 85% of the people are asleep. 10% is aware of what's going on, and 5% is the ones that are trying to wake the other 85% up. Right? We're working with small groups of people who understand the truth, who understand the system for what it is, trying to wake up the masses of people. It's not an impossible task, but it's a task that's going to be long. It's going to be a long process. You know what I'm saying? In order to do it. Right? But with the advent of AI, I think it's too late. I think it's too late, and I think the, the degradation of people's mindset in terms of their ability to now process things and to be creative will be destroyed by AI. You go to Facebook, there's all these AI applications. Yeah, the red vehicle here in New York Police Department using the siren. You hear the whistle? All right, so 1, 2 with the red hair, 3 the DoorDash, right? You know what I'm saying? Like I said, you gotta look at the patterns, right? You gotta look. Well, there you go. Guy with the boat bash. You know how they do it 4 now. Like I said, they'll try to break up the patterns since I talk about the patterns of 3s. Have you guys been noticing that lately? Have I been showing you guys this? Didn't I say that? That what they will do is right to try to, but that's still a pattern though. You understand? It's still a pattern. What they'll do, they'll show a pattern of 3, and then they'll have somebody come with another red shoes, pants, hat, what have you. You know, so it'll be now pattern of 4. All right. So yeah, but anyhow, as I was saying, they will, that's what they do. They will engage in lies and manipulation, right, to justify what it is that they do. The Republicans accuse the Democrats of cheating. Now going forward, they're going to be cheating the election, right? That's what they're going to engage in, like you said. But it is what they do. They will send people who are Republicans to act as if they're Democrats, right? Get voted into political office and will vote along their political party, even though they claim to be Democrats, but they're not. Understand how infiltration works, right? The right is obsessed with power. They want to bring us back into slavery. They're racist. The right is racist. The right is racist. The left is racist too. But the left is covert racist, right? You know what I'm saying? Which is, as Malcolm X said, that's even more dangerous.
Please exit through the rear door.
He said no. Him going to clean it.
Next stop, Branson Avenue and Linton Boulevard. This stop is Branson Avenue and Linton Boulevard.
You okay? You look good. Where y'all going? I have to see the picture. Yeah, the beach picture. Excuse me. I didn't see no picture.
Next stop, Branson Avenue and Kings Highway. Transfer available to East 7. This stop is Branson Avenue and Kings Highway.